hello to everyone listening to the podcast.
And we are live.
Yeah,
Hello,
baby.
everyone. On YouTube land. Hope you're all amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. Today is the 18th of December.
Ho, ho, ho.
And this is...
That's so impressive.
I'm having so much fun with this.
This is the last one before... this is the last one this year. Is that what we're doing now?
I don't know. My head's massive, so it never fits in traditional Santa hats.
Very
So.
sweet.
Oh, we're a bunch of Nomi boys. My Nomies.
My name.
There you go. That's the next run of GigRig merch is gnomes.
Okay, everybody, we're digressing already.
Is this... Yeah, so...
Is this normal?
Lizzie has the job of herding cats today and every week. Yes. So, Lizzie.
Yes.
I really gnome to like you.
Oh, heavens.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. We're going to focus today on questions that people have. We're going to look at some of our highlights from this year.
Yeah, boy.
Lizzie is going to do the best she can to keep us on track. She does a very good job of that.
She does.
She's like a scan electrics.
On and off the camera as well. I think all three of us would crumble in a work capacity without
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, thanks, guys.
For sure.
I definitely would.
Right. Okay. So, who have we got on, Lizzie?
We've got Andrew Jones, Michael Gilberto, Scott Curry. We've got Rigdon Dorge, Anthony Edwardson, first time making a Chat TGR live.
Yay! Welcome, mate.
We've got
That's wonderful.
Thank you for skiving off work with us.
Tom Bromby says Happy Grimbo.
Happy
Yo, hey, Tom.
Crimbo. So
Peter
Scott
Romano.
Gaylor is on, and I've been, shall we say, aggressively encouraging Scott to get an SG for like the past however long.
Has he?
He says, Dan, I'm now a demo video guy with pedalboards of doom, so maybe I can get an SG sooner than later.
Put that on your tax
So
That's
bill.
what we
you
want for
go.
2025.
Tax
That's what
bill.
we want.
I've been watching Scott play for years, and I just knew that an SG would sound so good in his
Scott
hands.
Gaylor, SG, say no more.
I mean, you know what's sad?
Go on.
Until you'd said that, I'd never made that like.
Dyslexia.
Just,
Well, it's a quick tale from our Christ's do, a little 30-second little snippet. You don't have to tell me to wrap it up, Lizzie, I promise. Me and Joe were playing a game of naming Star Wars characters and going A, B, C, D.
Through the alphabet.
And we got stuck on H.
Yep, we got stuck on H.
So I think one of us said Hoth, and we
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah.
think of it for ages. And then
Yeah, we were just sat there like, I just can't think of anything.
opened it up to the floor, and everyone was like, Han Solo, like, you
and
don't.
then we died.
that's
Yeah.
that's
Inside.
where we
I've
live.
never been so disappointed.
Hobo
in
Roadie,
us.
g'day mate.
Hey, Hobo Roadie.
Hope you're
Roadie.
doing awesome. Yes. Filmed a show with the
Look how I
new
feel.
Z80.
Oh, did you?
Yes, the Dr. Z,
Mhm.
which was facilitated by the wonderful Mr. Hobo / Brody.
Mr. Roadie,
And,
Hobo to his
man
friends.
alive. We did. So there's a show coming up. It might be this Friday where we go through all the parallel stuff in G3.
Cool.
Amazing.
And I saw a video recently with Andy Wallace, the amazing record producer, who
Yeah.
produced Grace, right? My favorite album.
Jeff Buckley.
On any given
Yeah.
day, my favorite album of all time. And he was going through how he did Jeff's guitar sound, which is stacking 3 stereo reverbs in parallel. So I did that using G3's new software, and then just threw in a stereo delay for giggles, and then did that with the Z80 on one side and the Hampstead on the other. And then, and I had the dry signal going in that, and then I killed dry, 4 stereo effects in parallel, dry signal to a deluxe reverb in the center. Honestly.
Then you ascended
so
to a
my
new form.
new rig is going to be all based around the parallel stereo capabilities now in
Killer.
G3. It's too good.
Too
Yeah,
good.
so there we go. Willie's on, Gav Thorpe's on. Yes, awesome.
Gav
Thank you all
Thorpe,
so much for
baby.
joining us. This should be fun. So any questions that you have, please throw them in the chat, and we'll do everything we can to answer them. So we're going to we're going to have a look at some of our favourite things of the year, starting with Joe.
Is your? Joe's our favourite thing of the year.
Yes.
You're my favourite thing. No.
Thanks, mate. What do you mean no?
Genuinely, it has to be the Red Panda radius for me.
Silly idiots.
Right.
Because they've kind of redefined what ring mod can do.
Okay, so take us through it.
So I was thinking about this earlier. One of the things that the radius has got, which if you're a full-on pedal nerd, you know that Pigtronics did a few years ago, where you can basically set the carrier frequency within the ring mod to track what you play.
Right.
So you can set it to either harmonious or world ending.
So just to clear up any confusion, what it makes the difference between a ring mod and a very fast tremolo is that in a true ring mod, you don't have any of the original signal, right? In a tremolo, you've always got a bit of the original signal, which is simply the amplitude is so fast that it sounds like a ring mod, but in a true ring mod, you don't have the original signal.
Sure.
And the carrier signal is the frequency at which it's doing the switching. So it is a different thing. They sound similar.
Yeah.
And if you've got a really sharp square wave trem, they can get similar. And actually, when another pedal will come onto in a bit, the Hamstead does that faux ring mod. Oh, you know, we'll get to that one.
Oh, I know.
But in the Red Panda, it's a proper ring mod. And
frequency modulation.
The difference being that the carrier signal, which is the ultra fast up and like.
So it's frequency modulation rather than amplitude modulation within a ring mod. And when you explain it, like when anyone tries to explain it does sound a lot just like you're doing maths. Like you're just doing crazy complicated maths.
Yeah.
But you get these really interesting bell-like tones.
Just think the Daleks.
So you think of Daleks, but also...
No, sorry, it's Cybermen. Is Daleks?
Dalek was a ring mod.
Daleks,
okay.
But
right.
also, so many 80s bass sounds were FM modulation.
Really?
Yeah. On the if you think of a Yamaha, I always forget the name of it.
Lessons in the boom.
No, synth bass. The Yamaha. Someone help me out here.
Yamaha bassy bassman.
No.
The Yamaha bass.
No,
01.
not bass. The Yamaha keyboard that's really known for FM modulation. Which is
the Yamaha FM
modulator
bass player.
Well, someone will say it in the comments.
Right.
It's all built on FM modulation, which is essentially what ring modulation is. So you can get quite a few of those interesting textures out of the radius, as well as loads of different shapes, and you can get kind of a phasery sound out of it.
Not a DX7.
DX7, yeah.
Oh, okay. Gav Thought comes in with
Thank you so much, Gav Thought.
Thank
you. My brain died. If you think of a DX7, that's all frequency modulation, which is essentially what ring modulation is. It's just that it's harmonic rather than dissonant. Right. And when we always think of ring modulation, we think of dissonant bells and Daleks. Yes. Whereas the radius is allowing you to do like consonant nice things with a ring mod.
Okay.
As opposed to like what you think of, like sci-fi sounds.
And it's MIDI and has presets.
Yeah, MIDI does all the shenanigan.
And I love their stuff.
And they have a web editor
and it's made by It's made by Red Panda, so it's automatically cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, well done, Red Panda. You're right there, Lizzie.
Yes,
you all good? Okay.
Yes. All good.
Doing a crossword or?
Round of applause. For Red
sounds like she
Panda.
was doing Lego and she'd pulled the Lego out.
Yeah, you got Lego. You have Lego.
There's just lots of questions, so I have to get another piece of paper.
Okay.
Can we do Lego on this show?
No, we can't. Loads of people come with DX7, yes.
Thank you, everyone. Sorry, my brain died a little bit.
Then Fatsy Turtle says the old Yamaha FM bassman.
See, there you go. That's the one I was on about.
Very good. Scott Gala says that was the main reason he never wanted to play one. That was his initials. Okay, very good. Cool. Okay. Tom Bromby wants to know what's up your sleeve for TheGigRig products in 2025.
Things.
Okay.
Things and such.
Boy, oh
Makes me
boy. All right,
nervous.
Tom.
Shall we mute the mics and discuss
Yeah,
what we're
freak
allowed
out.
to discuss before Dan just...
I wasn't going to ask this question.
Right. So, Lizzie, can you give me some epicness? You
Okay,
ready?
Yes.
Right, here we go. Coming from the Gig Rig in 2025.
in a world.
Okay, all right,
Okay,
so,
done.
all right.
Production
is a
value has
project-
gone up.
There is a project that we have been working on for over 2 years, and it has taken over my life. It is the most. I mean, G3 is the most involved in like complicated, like life enveloping thing that I've ever done. But boy, this runs close.
Yeah.
Considering what it is, it's like, how can this be so hard?
It's been mammoth.
I cannot tell you the hours and hours that all of us have sat here discussing this project.
Yeah.
Like
Heated
And just-
debate,
Yeah.
steps
Yeah.
backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there
steps
is,
diagonal.
we've got, there, we always have a few things going. We're always pushing. That's my favorite thing in the world to do, is developing stuff. Probably, I love it too much.
We know.
We hadn't noticed.
We know.
Yes. So anyway, obviously I can't tell you anything about it, but it's going to be.
What you can't see is Lizzie has a very sharp blade.
Yeah.
And she's ready to throw it.
Yeah. The finger
sweating.
is poised over the stop broadcast button.
I mean, if you look
but
out
yeah.
behind the camera, chaps, I mean, I can,
You can see some of those
I can
products.
see some of the said things
Yeah.
we're working
Yeah.
on.
That's right.
Just about.
And
but
prototypes and yep. So yeah, it's going
the
to
look
be
Lizzie's giving
And
me that
we're
you lot are
moving
missing right
on.
now.
So many
Plexico.
pedals to
Suntan.
talk about.
Plexico, bless you. It says super chat Christmas. Turn it on. Love you. Oh, bless you, mate. Love you too.
Love you too.
Love you.
We may do some super chats. But I don't know how that would work, and I think it's a bit. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about super chat. This being a gig rig based thing.
It's just a hangout.
Yeah, it's just a hang.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Matt Swanson says, "Man, talk about high production value." There you go.
The budget has gone up a whole extra 50p.
We found a new button.
There are a number of things coming out. The end of January, we're looking at launching
This.
the big one.
Yeah.
Don't hold
no,
us to that.
It is not. It is not G4 before anyone gets in there.
Yeah.
That
Don't
is
be scared.
not happening. G3 is. I mean, what we've been able to do on G3 software is and G3S and the screens.
Yeah, there's something else to do at the moment.
That's yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about.
G3S's
Any of
and
that stuff.
G3, with the new software.
But we
it's
have
so
got some
great.
other cool things actually.
We have
thinking
got
about it.
some other really cool things, but branching out a little bit as well.
There's trees involved.
Okay, so yes, very, very fun things. Thanks for the question, mate. That's great.
Quarter of an hour down, one pedal done.
Blessico says yes, fun's ready. Okay, right, next pedal, and I've got to bring this up because this is my favorite thing, pedal this year. So that pedal
I wonder.
show, Mick and myself were working in conjunction with the guys at Hampstead, and we released
The Redwing.
the Redwing, which is an all analog stereo, or I should call it a pitch modulator, but it's a pitch modulator. I think for me, it just kills all the flanges and choruses in my rig. I just love it. For any G3 users out there, I'm going to do a video using the Redwing with your G3, because what it can do in G3, especially with the new parallel stuff, with the hold feature and with the speed feature, the way it integrates in G3. I mean, I had to because I wanted to make, but man.
You know a guy.
I'm not going to lie. having played with it, I kind of wish I didn't, because
Right.
I'm going to need to remove a limb, maybe a kidney, because I'm going to need one, because it is probably, no, it is the best modulation pedal I've ever played.
Thank you, buddy.
Like, legitimately.
Yeah, thank you,
like,
man.
it is insane. I cannot explain to you. Think of every delay line based modulation pedal in existence in a box, but it's analog. Done.
Full stop.
There we go. Thank you, man.
It's stupid. It's
Yeah,
stupid in
it's-
every good way.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Now, I mean, and you know how hard we worked on that thing. Peter Hampstead is a genius designer. And what I love about his designs, he comes at it from such a different angle, because he's he's an aerospace engineer,
Yeah, man.
and he's so clever. Same thing with his amps. Like, everything they do, they got a slightly different angle on it. I love the way it looks on my pedal board.
Yeah, agreed.
So I'm just delighted. We've had quite a few people asking about, can it do presets? No, it's just beautiful, old school, 100% analog. I wouldn't. The thing is, I wouldn't want to. It's so great that if that was compromised in any way, because what you'd need to do is the pots would all have to be digital.
Yeah.
And it's running for an analog modulator. It's got great headroom in there. Digital pots can be tricky with that.
Well, I mean, come on, even the LFO is designed from the ground up.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yep.
That's insane in itself.
Yeah.
It's its own proprietary circuit.
Yeah. So I just,
It's a statement. It's meant to be analog.
Yeah.
That's the vibe.
Yeah.
We say this a lot. There's a time and a place for presets, and there's a time and a place for a thing doing a thing well.
Yeah. But stick an expression pedal in. I mean, that's the way I use it. Using the MTET.
Yeah, right. That would give you some level of
It's wonderful.
preset
Really
based
wonderful.
functionality.
But then you can change the speeds also with the sequencer
Yeah, of course.
in G3.
Of course.
And it's pretty wild. Anyway, that's mine. That's mine. As I said last week, it was a dream to come true, this pedal, and it's, so there we go. That's
awesome,
that one.
dude.
And yours, Daddy-O?
Yes, I've spoken about this pedal a few times now, but I must admit the Octa-Psi by Keeley,
Yep.
I think, has been a massive
Smashing it
out of the park. Yes. It's a wonderful octave pedal that tracks so well and does all of those traditional whammy-esque things that you love, and it's a really great sounded muff. You've got and it's so well thought through in terms of being able to flip the order, be able to control it remotely with the remote switches, having the expression in, and a really nice pedalboard format as well. When you think of big muff style pedals, they usually take about a third of your board up with the one pedal, but it's just incredible. I think. I mean, this entire year, let's be honest, Robert Keeley has been just smashing it out of the park.
He's had a crazy year.
Yeah. But that's been
But it was amazing to see
my Everest, in all honesty.
your spirit animal in a pedal come out.
Yeah, literally. No, it's so good.
BV's just chimes in. He says he's at the airport, but he's here now.
Hey,
Happy all. Thank you, bud.
Thanks for
BV baby.
always being there.
Yeah, he's the best.
He's the fifth musketeer.
I think there's some pun between airport and BV. I'll be there in a minute. Give us that. So you
Yeah,
flying
so
BV?
I haven't made up my mind yet if I'm going to NAMM or not. I would love to, but this project that we have going on, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And how could you go without us,
Yeah.
You would be missing my 30th birthday.
Look, one
if you
day
weren't.
when the company is massive, then
making tens of pounds.
then we can,
Even 12s of pounds.
12
Dozens,
pounds.
literally
If you will.
dozens of pounds. No,
That'd be nice,
no,
wouldn't it?
it'd be really great. I'd love to take you guys to NAMM. I mean, the reason that we don't is because we sell direct in America. When G3 came out, when the Pro 14 came out, G1, when that came out, we went to NAMM and we showed it off, and then was like, we just sell direct into America. This was a massive waste of coin. But it was lovely to meet anyone.
Yeah.
But my favourite story from that NAMM was that I was a massive Andy Timmons fan, and we stood there, and Andy was just walking up the aisle, and he just going, oh my God, it's Andy Timmons, and I was hoping he'd come past, and he didn't, and then I thought, it's a bit of a pipe dream anyway. And then
He's
years
your BFF.
later,
Now you're best
G2,
buds.
and now we're best
Did you
buds.
remind him when he reached out to you for the first time? Did you?
Did you go, I'm going to just walk
Oh
past?
no! Well,
Sorry, who are you? Via email?
I'll tell you how I met Andy. I got a message from someone in the States who said, we do a lot of stuff for Andy, and we really want to try out your G2, and we'll buy one and try it out. And anyway, it's great. And they bought two, so I want to buy one for
Amazing.
Andy.
Cool.
Amazing. A couple of months went by, I didn't hear anything,
Yeah.
and then I thought I'm going to reach out to Andy and see
If it made
and
its
see
way.
what he thought and stuff, because at that point everyone who had tried it was like, oh, this is amazing. Anyway, I reached out and said, look, you don't know me, but I'm a massive fan, and a couple of months ago someone bought you a G2. I wanted to see how you're getting on with it. He said, I don't know anything about GigRig, and no one's ever handed me a G2, but it looks really cool, and I have a tour coming up. This looks perfect.
So someone bought him a G2 but never
Someone
gave it to him?
said they were buying him a G2, and they bought it. He never got it.
That's weird.
And by me reaching out to him, he's like,
That's
well, this looks really
wild.
good.
That's amazing.
And I need something.
So in a weird way, that person still kind of
Still kinda
facilitated
did
it,
it. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not in the way
Wow.
you thought it would.
Wild.
That's
Isn't that
crazy. No, I
wild?
didn't
That
know
is
that
wild.
story.
That is
Isn't that
wild.
wild?
Wow.
And then he was playing with Simon Phillips, and I flew over to Germany to see him. And first time I'd met him, I was really nervous because I was such a fan, and we just hit it off, man.
Amazing.
We were just chatting for hours and hours, and all the music crossover, and
Yeah.
and then here we are. So anyway, that's that story.
The boys.
Far out. We are 23 minutes in, and we are on.
3 pedals.
We've
That's
done
all
the
right.
three.
That's
We've
not
done the
bad.
three.
Just to circle back, we just have a question about the Redwing.
Yes.
As there's no MIDI or control facilities, etc., not a criticism, how quickly in your experience is it to dial in the various sounds possibly on the fly?
So easy. So first of all, there are control facilities. You can change the speed with an expression pedal, and you can remotely go to 100% feedback, so you can get all that, screaming jet flange
yeah.
stuff. But you can control the speed with an expression pedal, which is a big deal because doing the rotary sim stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
It is, once you know it, because you're looking at it thinking, there's a lot going on, and there is a lot going on, but most of the knobs on it, you dial in for your situation. For example, if I'm using stereo, then it's going to be set to stereo. It's going to be left, right, but it'll be mixed 100% wet.
Sure.
That won't change. What I will change is maybe the delay time, the speed and depth. So getting those things dialed in is really easy, really quick. And once you get to know it,
That's
man, it's-
I think that's it, is getting to know your gear.
yeah.
It's also just, I think a lot of it with any kind of modulation pedal is understanding, for example, with a really tight delay time, it's a flanger. Goes from a flanger into a chorus. If you had the mix all the way up, then it's a vibrato.
Yep.
If you understand that, like a Dimension C is
Yep.
2 delay lines faced against each other.
Yep.
If you understand that stuff, then it's so quick.
Yep.
Because it's just about understanding the building blocks of that stuff, and then it's really easy to
Yeah.
to do its thing.
Yep, completely. But I mean, there's, you can dial it in quickly, but because it's hard to make the thing sound bad, you can. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. So there you go. Okay. Tom Pointon says, "Fab, cheers guys. You're so welcome, mate." AOR Soul says, "Hi guys, I bought a Redwing today. Christmas made. Have a wonderful Christmas and New Year." Oh, thank you, mate.
Legend.
It's really great. I mean, this, that what that means to me personally, to Pedal Show, and to the guys at Hampstead, it's a really big deal.
Yeah.
Because it was such a massive project. It took a lot of money to make it. Building those things is so expensive. And to make it happen was like a lot of faith, a lot of cash, and that people have really dig it. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's
so
really
cool.
great. Hoorah. Okay. Lizzie.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there
Should we do a quick
Anything
fire
else?
round of
Or-
questions? Or
So yeah, we've got a couple if you'd like to do.
Let's
go.
So we've got Andrew Jones. I'm thinking of trying wet dry. Do my effects need to be analog dry through? My amps are TS1 and another to be decided. My effects are an RE202 and a Boss CE2W
Yep.
using G3 switcher.
Okay. So, yes. The wet dry thing uses your direct signal and it splits at a point, and you have some effects on one side of the split and maybe some effects on the other, some before the split. But what's really important is that dry signal. The reason that the analog dry through is so important is that if it doesn't have an analog dry through, what you get is this latency based phase weirdness. Now, let me clarify that. If we've got two signals and I flip the phase on one and they are directly out of phase, 180 degrees out of phase. However, if I delay one of those signals, what ends up happening is that you get this comb filtering happening between the two signals. And it's not something that you can fix by flipping the phase. It's impossible to get those signals in phase unless you delay the other signal by the same amount. So anything that happens before the split, if you've got let's say you've got a digital distortion, that is, there's no analog dry, it's all digital. Because you've got the same latency going to both sides, then you don't have an issue. It's when you have no analog dry through on one side of the signal that you get this delayed latency phase problems. So for the best wet dry experience, we highly recommend having an analog dry signal that goes through both sides. Now, if you've got G3 has got wet dry built in because you can change, you set the split point and you can decide which effects go on the left side and which go on the right. So there are two separate parallel options in G3. The standard parallel, which gives you wet dry, and then we've got parallel times 4, which gives you the amazing, 4 stereo lines and 2 dry lines, so 8, 10 lines of parallel. And you can still do the wet dry with that as well as a bunch of other things. But to keep it really simple, we've left the standard parallel as it is. So now you can do wet dry if you've got a pedal that doesn't have a analog dry through with parallel times 4 by kill drying that pedal and having the analog go around the outside. There are ways to do it. You don't have to go and buy another mixer to do stuff. It can all be done in G3. But if you're just after a straight wet dry, use the parallel mode of G3, set the split point where you want it, and then put your wet effects on one side. Happy days.
Happy days.
Happy days. It's very difficult. I know that stuff's very boring if you're not interested in that. It's quite difficult to explain that without a diagram. Maybe what we'll do for next year, Lizzie, is have any questions like that asked beforehand so that I can draw some diagrams and then show them.
Spent all of this year's budget on that reverb fader that we had.
Can we just do that one more time? One more time. Coming soon in 2024 from the TheGigRig. Dun, dun, dun,
Excellent. Okay. And
14 quid a go, that is.
There you go.
14 quid. That's
28
28 quid already.
There we go.
Wow.
We're halfway through.
Can I just ask one other one?
No.
No. Sorry.
I'm going to anyway.
No.
Michael Gilberto, I would like to run a juggler into the Z80 and also have Z section on tap. I'm pretty sure G3 can do this by putting the Z preamp section in a loop. Please confirm.
Correct.
Done.
Yep, absolutely. And the effects loop in the Z8. Do you say Z80 or Z80?
Z, I think.
Dyslexia.
Z, Dr. Z.
Z?
Dr. Z, so
Yeah,
I
so
was
Z80,
Z80.
right?
Z80?
Yeah, because Dr. Z doesn't feel
Or you
right.
go Z80?
Z80.
The effects loop in the Z80, Z80 far out,
Z80.
is amazing. Really, really wonderful. So yes, integrates in G3 perfectly.
Do it.
Done. That was wild quick.
There you go.
Do you want any more? Or are we going to go on
No,
to
I
more
think
pedals?
let's go on to a pedal.
Or a pedal.
Number 4.
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm feeling really unhinged.
Okay.
I've been spending all day
Mate,
getting through
our
my
hinges-
inboxes.
Our hinges are off.
Some of you lot may have heard from me today, and I am, feeling a bit crazy.
Great.
Michael Giliberto says, we say Z. We have the notes that say Z. Great.
All right,
Thank you, buddy.
Right, Z-E-E. I was like, if
Yeah.
you just put
Yeah,
the letter
if you just
Z, I
put
was
Z,
like,
that doesn't help.
Is it pronounced scone or scone?
It's gone.
Right, number 4, the Cogmeister. I want to talk about the Cogmeister. Didn't come out this year. I think it didn't even come out last year, but Dan very kindly, not this one, Coggins very kindly gave me one, and it's been game-changing to me.
It's changed your whole existence.
It's such a cool toolbox of individual sections. I think I watched it on TPS, and I think Mick said it was like a really good lesson in gain staging.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly it, in understanding how to construct
It
sounds
is a
together.
masterclass of pedal design
Yeah.
and designing pedals to stack together.
Yeah.
Man, that guy, you know what? All of my favorite designers are either amazing guitar players or they have an amazing guitar player on staff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Hampstead, Peter, I think he can play C and he's learning G. But then you've got Brian Love.
Just the
Oh, man, that
Yeah.
guy, he is flippin' awesome. So, and they work together,
yeah.
Dan Coggins, have you heard him play?
Yeah.
Oh, man, he is wonderful.
He's
Yeah.
so bashful about it, though, but he's
Yeah.
a great guitarist.
Yeah. Simon Jarrett, Kingsley, that's like all my favorite guys. Just, they know how these things should feel, which is a massive part of design
Yeah,
stuff.
definitely.
Yes. So Dan Coggins, just think the world of the guy.
I just
Yeah.
need to interject 1 second. You'll love this.
Yeah.
Played a gig on the weekend in Swindon called 12 Bands of Christmas.
So
We
You
played a
gig on the weekend.
gig on the weekend
yes,
called 12 Bands of
the 12
Christmas.
bands of Christmas.
So-
Right.
There's
Yep.
12
12
bands on
bands.
one bill.
2 songs.
Okay, far out. Right.
It's
That's a quick
crazy.
change.
So-
It is, yeah.
We just bought pedalboards, chucked them into valve amps, real valve amps.
I'm so
What was
proud
it?
of
It
you.
was an orange.
I think Claire had an AD something.
I think
30
80.
or 50 or
Yeah.
It was loud and
Oh,
big.
get
It was
Yeah.
terrifying in a
I
good way.
loved like the first time I saw you guys. Claire was using a diesel. She sounded flippin' awesome.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah,
sold us
and it
through.
looked really cool.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And you were using
Deluxe.
just
right.
so that everyone knows, these guys play in 2 bands together, which is the same band, but it's the same but different.
Yes.
So your original band is called All Ears of Val.
Yes.
And your award-winning Functions band
it's called Rogues.
is called Rogues. And it's really sweet. It's like ABBA.
Yeah.
Because you play with your partners in the band.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
And then we've got a thing going on that we
We've
haven't
got a thing going on.
discussed.
But I just wanted to say,
Really?
yeah, we've
A
got a
little bit,
thing.
haven't we, I think? Yeah.
I just
Bit
wanted to
clammy.
say. So you have like 2 seconds to play to set up.
Hang on.
Why?
Continue.
It's
Right.
love.
Yes, I know.
Jake was using.
Okay, sorry. Jake was using a deluxe.
He was
Yeah.
using his latest guitar, Les Paul.
It's my
Custom.
Les
A
Paul
hot rod
custom.
deluxe or a standard
I
deluxe?
think it was a standard.
I
Deluxe.
think a standard deluxe. I think it's quite old. I'm not specifically
Okay.
sure what it is and what
Yeah,
year it
Here's the
is.
signal chain.
Yep.
Les
Jake's Les
Paul.
Paul.
Les Paul.
Cogmeister.
Whammy on the octave down.
Come on.
Cogmeister.
Yep.
That was it.
Yeah.
Into the whatever it was. What
Into
was
the
it?
Yeah,
deluxe.
it's
Into
the
the deluxe. Someone that taught us music tech at college, the minute we finished, the second we finished, said it was the greatest guitar tone he's ever heard in his life.
Yeah.
And
There
it
you
was
go.
super simple.
Yeah.
And we all came off stage going, valve amps are really cool. Valve amps are really cool.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Anyway,
So
The best
okay,
bit, it was
so-
there, so I don't have to carry it with
Yeah.
me.
So now, interestingly, this is not to take away anything from the awesome technology and pushing forward with that stuff and what that's enabled you guys to do with your gigs, and they're really cool things. But as guys who've played valve amps and then have gone digital, and then for that one thing going back to some valve amps for
Yeah.
that brief thing, did you notice stuff?
It's hard to tell because
There's not a valve amp that you're used to.
yeah,
It's
and
a
the
different
whole
thing.
situation is chuck your rig up and go.
And go.
It wasn't. I think if you were doing a traditional show and I'd borrowed a head, let's say, and I've done a sound check and I've dialed it in, and
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
got time to really get to know it. That and it was my first gig using that Les Paul.
Yeah.
So again,
Oh,
that was completely different
lots
as
of
well.
different
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, so-
okay.
But it was just
I
one
had
of
a
those
great
moments
time,
where
but
I
it's
just
all
kept
completely
looking over
different.
at Jake, like, what is going on? This
Wow.
is incredible. And I haven't heard Claire so excited about an amp in a long time.
That's awesome. And what were you playing through?
I was playing through a Class D solid state thing, but I think
Okay.
with bass it's a little bit different.
Right.
I think it's more of a character thing. Valve isn't always the best for bass,
Okay.
I would argue. Anyway, Lizzie's literally stood up. She's ready to leave.
She's gone.
Because we're on so many tangents.
No, I thought that was good.
Oh, you're just doing power stance?
Yeah, just power stance.
Stretching your leggy.
Oh, Gav Thorpe says, Jake, it was a Silverface Deluxe Reverb. We've been over this.
Sorry, Dad.
Thanks, dude. Cheers.
I did.
I'll
I
just-
literally sent Gav a picture. We were talking about it, and I was like, I don't know what this is. It says Fender on it. It looks cool. I don't know.
Just to clarify something as well, someone was asking, Charlie here, Redwing arriving tomorrow. That's awesome. So still won't be able to pass a true stereo signal from one G3 to another. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you
so-
can.
The first batch of G3s, we didn't have that, but we've had it for quite a while now, where the input is TRS stereo, and you simply go into parallel, and where it says split before, just split before the input.
Yeah.
And then you literally have left, right.
There was a post on the GigRig Instagram last week of 2 Atom boards on pedal trains.
Right.
There was a rig that I did for a dude called Alistair a few months ago, and he had like a stereo, sort of almost like a Chapman-y stick type guitar that had like a bass and a guitar going on.
Right.
And he basically had a TRS cable, one line for like the bass side and one for the guitar side, and using the TRS function, we could affect what side was what, and went stereo through the entire rig, so you could have like a guitar output, a bass output, all
Love
something
that.
together.
Love
It's really, really cool.
Yeah. No, it was something that we found. There's a surprising number of people that wanted to use two G3s together
Yeah.
and be able to go from stereo from one to the other. It's like, yeah, cool. And we did it.
That's the level of enabling we like.
We used the last input on the matrix, and that was it.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. So it's all good.
Any more questions, Lizzie? You got any tidbits you want to?
So Riggs in
his name's Lizzie now.
This is
Riggs
Charlie
Endorsed
as
says,
well.
no, I've proved this to both Jake and Joe. Been promised it will be worked on and included in the future firmware update. So I think for something like that, mate, if you email through to support, we'll go through it with you. It definitely works.
Unless it's an original unit.
Unless you don't have that feature on your backboard.
Yep. I can't remember what serial number
but
it's
we'll have
from.
the serial number and see if you've got
support
that on there.
TheGigRig.com.
Email us. We will have.
Okay, so cool. Anything else, Lizzie? Any other questions you want us to get to?
Yes, we have one here. I was wondering if it is possible to mod and output the preamp single from a warm audio WAC1 before the chorus or vibrato portion of the circuit, so it can go to the dry amp of a wet, dry, wet.
So,
in theory.
Okay, did you understand the question?
I think so. They want to mod the warm audio so that the preamp is not going through the chorus, right?
Oh, okay.
Where's the question?
Who's it from, Lizzie?
I think it was Duke Neutron. It might have been quite a while ago.
I'm going to find it too. I feel like.
Okay. Let's see.
I read that very unclearly as well. Sorry.
Here we go. So
I've just seen someone comment saying Joe's hat has had more Viagra. I just needed to read that one out.
Some of us have talents.
Okay. Duke Neutron says, hello to all. I was wondering if it is possible to mod and output the preamp single from a warm audio WACR, which is the CE1 clone, before the chorus or vibrato portion of the circuit, so it can go to the dry amp of a wet, dry, wet.
Without seeing the schematic,
Yeah.
it's not a yes or no. It's technically possible, but
Everything is possible.
yeah, that's a slightly difficult.
All I
question
would
to
say
answer.
is, if you are looking for that to go to the dry amp of a wet, dry, wet rig, you absolutely will need it to be isolated. So if somehow you manage to do it, put the signal into a humdinger so that you can, the amp is isolated and phase reversible. Very important. One thing I didn't mention.
What didn't you mention?
I need to make more of a bigger deal of this, and I don't know how many of you know this, but we've redesigned the way that we do isolation. And this has been a dream.
This is insane.
This has been a dream of mine forever, because every engineer that I've ever worked with, I'm like, can we do this without the transformers? Because they
They have a
transformers
characteristic.
have a character. And this is the thing that when people say, yeah, we use these isolation transformers and they sound great, it's like the battle that I've had, and like on the G2 and the first version of G3 has been out how many years now, Lizzie?
2020.
2020.
No
4
way.
years,
Okay, right.
maybe.
So I'll never forget it. I was working on far out.
In a cocktail bar.
So I was when I met you. Stop it. I was working on a balanced system and actually looking at ways to make balanced pickups, because you absolutely can. And then I'd worked out that the way isolation works, like in most systems, is that you have an isolation transformer. And the thing with an isolation transformer, you've got two coils and this, around a magnet, and they pass the signal from one coil to the other, like through the core, but there's no direct connection. And that is what gives you isolation. Well, and you don't get the same thing just by using a capacitor or something like that. Up to this point, getting an isolated signal was using transformers, because what you could also do is flip the secondary and then you would flip the phase. However, what has been the bane of my existence is every isolation transformer has a character.
Yeah.
And some of them can be really cool. I mean, this is, valve amps. You think of the output transformer and the power transformer and all this stuff make a difference to the way the amp sounds, right?
Transformers.
And I'm like, I would really love output 2 that doesn't have a transformer on it.
Truly transparent.
And we worked it out. So
Very cool.
I worked out how to do it, and it's using balanced technology. And we now on everything that uses isolation from the TheGigRig, whether that's a Humdinger, an AB Baby, G3, the output uses balanced technology and is just, it does square wave down to 5 hertz.
I spoke to our hardware engineer, 2 hertz.
Square wave, okay.
2
Square
hertz.
wave,
So-
which is twice a second, square wave. I mean,
So
it's
just quickly, bass players, listening close. 2 hertz.
If we see any of you with 2 amps,
That is
us guitar players will be having a word.
Okay, I'm sorry to be so rude.
This is
It's,
really...
we've got 13 minutes left.
Yes, we've got 30 minutes. We've got 3
Okay.
pedals.
Anyway.
Next pedal. Best name of any pedal that's been released this
Ground and
year.
Pound.
Ground and Pound. Do I need to say any more?
No. What does it do?
It's a
Clean,
drive
transparent booth.
pedal. It's a bass drive pedal.
It's a mid-humped overdrive.
Bass overdrive pedal. The cool thing about it is the EQ effects to clean and the drive, which is something
That's
that
cool.
no other drive pedal does. And then you end up with a clanky bass, and it's clean, and then a distorted bass that sounds completely different.
Awesome.
Beautiful, incredible. Oh, the next pedal's me as well. The Niso by Native Audio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Incredible. I mean, we've seen a lot of filter pedals this year, but it's a really interesting take on filter pedals with like an onboard envelope, low pass, band pass, high pass. Looks cool as hell. Rockin' Baby. My favourite.
John plays the guitar, says Horse Meat is the best pedal name ever from the PRS.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool, but I think Ground and Pound's funny.
Ground and Pound is, I like Ground and Pound. And the last one for me as well, I'm going to say one of my favourite things this year was the relaunch of the Diamond brand.
Agreed.
Yeah. Classy.
So,
Classy.
yeah.
Classy's very apt.
Yeah. No, they've done a wonderful job. So, Solid Gold Effects, the guys there who I had a chat to earlier this year, I've actually known the main guy there forever, because he was doing a clone of the it was the black box that I have that looks like a wedge. It's the Duo Fuzz.
Yeah.
Duo Fuzz. And they did a clone of it that sounded really great. Anyway, they've gone from strength to strength, and they've brought back the Diamond brand.
That's really cool.
And they've kept all the really amazing things about it. They've just made the enclosures a bit smaller.
Top
And
mount
they
jacks.
do a really top mounted jacks. They sound incredible. So yes, massive kudos to that. John plays the guitar, says, "Oh no, I got called out." There you go.
Sorry,
Thoughts
Ground and
agreed. I bought a Diamond Comp EQ recently, and it's a pretty great thing. It's fantastic. Actually doing a board for a rock star at the moment that we can't mention, but that is on there, and it is wonderful. So there you go. Some highlights, some TheGigRig highlights this year, apart from pedals. I don't know if these the artists that are up, but we've had a couple of really cool artists come on board this year. The Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
The Edge came on
Silly.
board this year.
That was ridiculous.
And got a G3 for his studio and loves it. It's really cool.
Pat Smear. Was that this year?
No, Pat Smear was last year, but
Right.
but
So last
so I
year,
hung
Pat
out with
Smear.
Pat Smear this year.
So last year, Pat Smear.
That was really great. Also, Peter Frampton.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Peter Frampton with a G3, which is
Which
really,
is silly.
It's wonderful. So that's really cool, and loads of other really amazing artists have come on board. But that was pretty crazy. Talking to Peter and chatting to The Edge. Hello, The Edge.
I feel I can say this now, and I'm really sorry if I'm going to get told off after
no.
this.
Oh.
Because you said The Edge.
Yes.
But am I right in thinking there was Ed O'Brien put you in a group chat with The Edge, and you were like, I'm just in a chat with The Edge, and is that right?
Yeah. So,
But you were like,
The
what
Edge
is my life?
Well,
I'm in
The
this
Edge
group
and
chat.
Ed O'Brien are very good friends, and and I was in just an email exchange, and we're just talking about a couple of things, and then I went downstairs and said to Teen, I've just been sort of chatting with The Edge and Ed O'Brien, and this is
Weird.
My life.
crazy. But really, that just really beautiful people,
so cool.
and so there we go. That was apart from all the other really cool things that have happened this year. That's having some really great artists come on board this year has been amazing.
Crazy.
DWILC went from my old G2 to G3S this year. Game changer. Thank you. Oh, mate, thank
Cheers, buddy.
you.
Good.
I really appreciate that.
I've got a question from Plexico.
Yes.
Dan and team, what 3 pedals would you use with the Redwing, vintage or new? Thank
Oh,
you.
I mean, that's a difficult
okay.
question.
So I have my. All right. So if I get 3 pedals with Redwing, it will be. I've got to have a delay because I'm going to get reverb from the amplifier. But I'll have my auto machines. If it's specifically a pedal, it'll be the timeline.
Yeah.
But the auto machines is the delay that I just cannot live without now. So I'm going to say that as one. If that's not allowed, it'll be the timeline. Then it is the new version of the Kingsley Harlot
Okay.
with the boost side that you can switch. Oh, that's great. And then I was going to say
A tuner.
no, because I headstock tuner. So I'm going to say it's some sort of boost, and I'm going to say a treble booster, and I'm going to say I'm going to say
Treble boosters.
no.
Is it on the
I
shelf?
take-
Is that what you've looked?
No, I'm going to say my original Keeley Java boost.
Oh, really?
Nice. Original one, OC, I want to say it's an OC 71 transistor. Still had the DC jack on the side before they removed them. Just awesome. So that would be my 3 pedals with that, and then I get everything.
Versatile.
Yeah. There we go.
I don't have time to think about that.
Oh, can I just say as well, sorry, of course, working with Robin Ford this year.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that happened, didn't it?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Sorry, that happened. And
Working with us.
working with you guys. But, playing the Dumble, Robin's Dumble this year.
Oh, I
How
wonder
was
what
that,
that was
Dan?
like.
Crazy.
Yeah, I wonder.
But, continuing doing stuff with Robin. And next year, I'm going to be touring with Robin, doing teching for him for a week.
Ooh,
And I'm going to film it and show
Awesome.
everyone what it means to tech for an artist. That'll be really fun. I was watching a video today of Robin and Larry Carlton do their thing, and just far out. Sorry, Lizzie's.
No.
Go on.
Okay, go on, Lizzie.
No,
what do we
no.
need?
We've got 5
Carry
minutes.
on.
We've got 5 minutes. Let's smash these out.
BV says we need a GigRig horn. There we go.
So Todd Roy asked, would you guys run a Space Echo RE202 through an effects loop or straight in the front?
Depends on what sound you want. if you want it to be super clean, put it in the effects loop. If you want it to be nice and grungy and interesting, put it in front.
Put them in front.
Well,
It's
no,
totally
see,
interesting
but it
thing.
also depends on the effects loop.
Yeah, of course.
You need a true instrument level effects loop, but you can pad it. It's difficult. So my loving those units and having used one for many years, there is a magic that happens when you take the output of that thing and stick it straight into the front, even if you're using a bit of gain in the amp. It sounds amazing. The small box spring reverb in that thing is to die for. But you can make it work in the effects loop as long as you're not hitting it too hard.
Sure.
But it is, they both sound incredible.
One down. Down.
We've got from Michael, if Redwing is in wet dry mode, can it serve as the signal splitter for TPS wet dry?
Absolutely.
Boom. That
Yeah,
was
absolutely.
well
It's
easy.
exactly. So that was a must. The pedal had to be able to do that. So remember, it's true stereo. So you can have the delay lines either going left and right, or you can send all the delay lines out of the A, and your direct signal from the input is split, and that goes out of B, which means that the B is just a copy of the input. All of the EQ and gain and everything, that all comes out of the A side. So it's a true wet dry thing.
Awesome.
Sick. 3 minutes left.
Baby.
Todd Roy says, good info. Thanks, guys. You're so welcome, mate. Dog Ate My Homework says, release Brian. I'm sorry. I've just watched that film recently. That's, wonderful.
We've just got one last one
Yep.
from Peter, who says, is there a MIDI chart for the G3 so I can send MIDI from my iPad for bank changes?
You don't need to do that. Go on, Jake.
So G3 accepts MIDI PC in, and per PC message you send the unit, you can select what bank and what preset on that bank the unit goes to. So literally you go into the deep edit, into the MIDI, and then the MIDI in, and you'll put in like PC1, and then you can select if that goes to bank 1, preset 1, PC2, bank 1, preset 2, so on and so forth. So you can do it that way.
Oh. Yes, absolutely. Sorry, Gav Thorpe says, G3S was my highlight. No smoke. Thank you, mate. That, really means a lot. And actually, Gav, I want to say thank you to you. You've been so awesome this year. So
I want to say as well, Gav linked me that Les Paul custom I bought.
Did he?
Yeah, he found it on Facebook Marketplace, and he's like, this one's a looker. So
it really is about the
again,
friends we make along the way.
yeah,
That's
thank you,
for
Gav.
you.
Yeah,
Okay. Wow.
Oh, you're drooping.
happens to 1 in 3 men.
I'm not.
Dude.
I'm all good. Look.
Dude.
I'm fine.
You got...
So Jake.
Okay.
We're excited.
We've all
next
been
year.
to a service station where every advert is that.
Yeah.
The men's lose, isn't it?
Okay, no, come on now.
Right, let's talk about...
Sorry, Lizzie. What else we got? Got 1 minute left.
I think it's really just to say a big thank you to everyone that supported Chat TGR, because it only started
that,
this year.
actually, that itself
This
is
is,
a highlight.
this is... Because we were talking about this for ages and actually finally got it going.
And I think if I'm entirely honest with you, Lizzie suggested it at like the first meeting of the year in January, and then we got it up and running in like May. So
It's pretty good.
Well, this
Yeah.
is the 17th episode.
we did have a few.
So
that
we can almost
abandoned,
drink.
didn't
If we take this
When we
as
You
start
year.
up-
always drink in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we? Yeah.
That's it.
First one in 2025, we can have a little drink.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Oh,
everyone.
actually, Gav Thorpe has just said, presume there's a live next Wednesday too.
So, Gav, there isn't
Absolutely
next
no.
There
Wednesday
isn't.
because next Wednesday is Christmas Day.
I will be smashed by this time next week.
And when you mean Mario Smash Brothers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because you're not condoning the overconsumption of any sort of substance or beverage.
My client has no comment.
Okay. Marty Boo says, round of applause for Lizzie.
Yeah.
Yay! Yes.
Thank you.
Lizzie has done brilliantly.
We might buy her a camera at some point, but the reverb sound was more important.
Close up. Under.
Okay.
Underwear, sorry, Joe.
Okay.
Face up.
So, look, everyone, I think, did we have 100 people on today at all, Lizzie?
Almost there.
Almost there. We've got 98 on the moment. But yes, thank you all for joining us and hanging out. We will be back. We shut down for Christmas, New Year's. Mm-hmm. We will be far out, man. We'll be back in work on the 2nd. What day is the 2nd of January?
Thursday.
Yeah, we're just about Thursday, Friday, so it'll be the week after.
So it'll be the week after. What Chat TGR returns
On
Wednesday,
Wednesday, the 8th of January.
Wednesday, the 8th of January.
Oh,
Sorry.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Epicness. Chat TGR set to return on Wednesday, the 8th of January. Don't miss it. Your life just might depend on it.
Oh, dear.
That was directly from Scrooge, which I watched last night. We're in Christmas mode, people. Thanks for watching.
go.
Have a fantastic
Merry
Christmas. Have a wonderful New
Christmas.
Year. Thanks for everything.